Working with exponents of 2. I'm making it simple, and we are actually graduating from here to learning how to evaluate expressions with rational exponents, right? So we'll get into rational exponents. But let's keep it simple now. So what I've also done here is provided you with the powers of 2, that is 2 to the power of x, where x is from 0 to 10. This is going to help us to solve questions. Now remember one thing, since we have all negative numbers here, I'm just going to remind you that square root, or whenever the exponent is even, we cannot have a negative number in the radicand. Minus 64 to the power of 1 over 2 or square root of minus 64 does not exist. So this is not valid. So whenever we have negative numbers and we have square root of negative numbers or even powers, even root I should say, we cannot. So square root of negative number is not a real number. So we have no solution to these questions in our domain of real numbers. So we are dealing with real number at present. So we'll not have any solution for that. So whenever you square a number, you always get a positive number, and therefore square root of a negative number will give you an error when you try to do it with your calculator, since we are dealing with real numbers. Okay, so I just answered that question for you. But for the others, as you can see, we have the cube root here and cube root there. So those are possible solutions, right? So we'll solve these now. Now to solve cube root of minus 8, what should we do? We know 8 could be written as minus cube root will give me a negative term. So let me write negative outside. That is cube root of minus 1. Okay. And cube root of 8 is 2. 2 cube is 8. Cube root of 8 will be 2, right? Since it is negative 8 cube root, we get negative 2 as our answer. Correct? Now let's move on to the last one, which is negative 512 to the power of 2 over 3. Now, 512 is 2 to the power of 9. So we can write this expression as minus 2 to the power of 9 to the power of 2 over 3. Now, since this is negative, if I do cube root first, then what do I get? I get negative 2 to the power of 3, and then we have to square it, correct? So I'm doing it in steps so that you understand how this negative changes to positive. Now once you square it, so you're multiplying negative 2 times, right? So it becomes positive. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So what you really get is 2 to the power of 6. So that is the answer. 2 to the power of 6 is 64. So we get 64, positive 64, as the answer for minus 512 to the power of 2 over 3. So what you see here is that if we have even exponent, then it makes negative number as positive. That is what we get from here, right? So if I do first square of the number, I'll get a positive number, and then I can do the cube root. So that is possible, right? So if the exponent is even, in that case the negative sign becomes positive, right? As an even whole number, I'm going to say. But if we have a situation like this, where we have square root of a negative number, then the answer is not a real number. I hope these 3 examples help you to understand how to evaluate expressions with rational exponents And we are dealing with small number, just 2 at present, and soon we'll graduate to bigger ones. Thank you and all the best.